guys. Okay, get ready for this one. Okay, so we're going into the shadow realms. So number 30, the incarnated demons. Ooh. Okay, people, when they get this card, they might go, ooh, demon. Ah, okay, I get it. They're scary. But the truth of the matter is that we're always interacting with all types of energy at any given time, positive and negative. Why? Because this reality, planet Earth, is made of both. So when they see this card, I always tell them, is like, don't worry, doesn't mean you have a demon on you, okay? And again, depending on their reaction, of course. But the demon card essentially is all about fragmentation and separation. So demons essentially see themselves as disconnected from others and disconnected from source. So because of this disconnection, they have to have some form of exchange to survive. So if you think of demonic energy, they make an agreement usually with the person. You can think of the devil kind of like, sign my contract, give me your soul and I'll give you this kind of thing, where we unconsciously sometimes make these contracts or agreements. And essentially, I'll give you this if you give me a bit of that. Now, that could be one thing. So it could also mean somebody is deceptive in their life, does not have their best interest at heart. If I get this card, for instance, somebody asking me if their partner is cheating on them, the answer usually is yes, because they don't have their best interest at heart. They're out for themselves. It could be narcissistic. It could be psychopathic. It could be controlling. It could be power. It could mean violence, all sorts of lower frequencies essentially that comes with this card. It could also just mean essentially that this person's also not honoring themselves and they're not being true to themselves, and they're the ones who are also being deceptive. They're the ones who making some form of agreement with somebody to get something from them, and they ended up in this agreement or relationship because they want something and they're not being honest with themselves. So remember, it's not always the other person's fault. Sometimes it's also the person that you're reading for, that they're deceiving themselves. They're not aware of their own actions or their own behavior. Okay, so the number 3 and 0. 3 is the Trinity, the creativity number. It's the people-pleasing number. And it's, think about it, mind, body, and spirit, okay? And when I think about it, it's also the childlike, okay? The silly, the immature number, if you like. Thus the demon is kind of looking like he's a bit silly. And then the 0 is the God energy, the God frequency. So I feel like it's very fitting as well for this card if you really think about it on the shadow aspect of things. People pleasing oftentimes happens because somebody really wants to be loved and they will do anything for somebody and then they get taken advantage of. So they do it not because it's authentic or they don't want anything or they're doing it from a place of power. They're doing it because essentially they want something out of it subconsciously. Again, this doesn't mean that every person who's people-pleasing, that's what they want or that's what they are. We're talking about the shadow aspects of these behaviors, guys. So just keep that in mind. Okay, again, also looking at the card, we have a lot of black and red. Red blood, you can think of it, base chakra, which is ungrounding. It's the first chakra that's created when we're born. It's our tribe, it's our family, it's money, unsafety, insecurities, all that kind of stuff. And black is actually not always a bad color, but we often associate black with the darkness, the shadow, the negativity, the fear. Something to keep in mind. Now, let's read the card. The incarnated demon card is a sign that something is disconnected and broken. There is a lack of compassion, connection, and empathy in this situation. Be mindful this person or circumstance may not have your best interest at heart. This card also calls you to look within and examine your own intentions. Are you acting from a place of love and integrity? Awareness is the first step towards transformation. And in the Book of Realms, I often talk about awareness a lot when it comes to the demonic card. It's a big thing. Okay, so now let's read the card. Be cautious of attachments or temptations. Sometimes something that appears too good to be true might just be. Your ego might be leading you astray, causing you to overlook your true desires. Evaluate your choices and their long-term impacts, honestly. Be mindful of influences. The card warns of potential pitfalls that could derail your progress if you're not careful. Take a step back and assess whether your current path aligns with your authentic self or if it's driven by fleeting desire or external validations. Trust your interactions and avoid impulsive decisions. This could also mean, for instance, it's a great example of this card is that somebody's signing some kind of a contract and it's all shiny and money, but they didn't read the fine print. And the fine print is just because, oh, well, whatever, I just want the money, but they don't realize the consequences of that. Okay, reverse. Someone or something may not have your best interests at heart and could be using you for personal gain. The card may also reflect that you are not acting with the best intentions, whether consciously or unconsciously. Ensure that your actions are truly for the benefit of others, not driven by self-interest or fear. Assess your relationships and motivations carefully. Are you approaching situations from a place of separation and self-preservation, or are you embracing unity and collective healing? When we see ourselves as separate from others, we create division that can lead to mistrust, manipulation, or selfish behavior, whether from ourselves or those around us. This card urges you to reflect on your own interactions and ensure they align with truth, integrity, and a genuine desire to contribute positively to the world. If you sense deceit or manipulation, take appropriate measures to protect yourself, but also examine whether you have unknowingly built walls that prevent true connection. Healing comes from unity, from recognizing that we are all interconnected. When we move beyond the illusion of separateness and act from a space of love, cooperation, and authenticity, we step into our highest potential. Let go of fear, jealousy, or the need to control, and instead cultivate trust, transparency, and compassion. By doing so, you will attract relationships and experiences that reflect honesty, support, and mutual growth. Well, I think that's pretty straightforward, my friends. So again, take a look at this card, take some time to meditate on it, and just notice what comes up for you. I'll see you in the next one.